Hey everybody, we are still playing in the key of E. This is actually the third in the videos of how to play in the key of E. E is such a great key and lots of different ways to play. Lots of different colors you can bring to a song. And the last one I'm going to show you is an interesting one because it uses a cut capo. And people hear that and they wonder, what in the world does that mean? It's this little shorty bob capo right here, and it actually only hits 3 strings. And so it's a very unique way to play. You take the capo and you put it in the 2nd fret, and it hits the A string, the D string, and the G string. So this is actually still an E, this top note. It's not changed that note at all. There's a cut away part of the capo that lets that be still open. And then the next 3 are changed, and then the last 2 are still open. What this creates is an E sustained chord without doing anything with your left hand. You have an E sustained chord. What that allows you to do is to play in the key of E using much simpler fingerings but still having a really great open sound. So to actually play the chord E, I take my pointer finger and I put it on the G string in the 4th fret. That's the 2nd fret away from the capo. So however you like to think about that. So it's 2 away from the capo, but actually the 4th fret of the guitar. I press that single note and suddenly I have an E chord. And that's all I have to worry about. Now I can move that finger up 1 string, and I have a nice B chord. I don't even know what you'd call it. It's sort of just a cool B chord. You can also do 2 fingers there, so on the G string and the D string in that 4th fret. It's more of a truer B chord, but I just like the way this one sounds. So if that one doesn't clash with what you're playing with, you can try that one, or you can do the 2. And then finally, you can move it up again, and this becomes like an A chord. If you need the root to sound, you put your middle finger in the 5th fret to get an A. So that's like the very top of a G chord shape. Right there in the 2nd fret away from the capo on the A string, and the 3rd fret away from the capo on the E string. You can see that's just a really pretty sound. So those major chords in the key of E become the great thing about it has these pedal tones at the top. A pedal tone is just something that sounds in every chord and becomes a consistent sound across the different chord shapes. And so the B and the E are a pedal tone in all these chords. That's what makes it sound so nice. So then what do you do when you need the C sharp minor? Well, if you watch the other videos, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to take this pointer finger and put it 2 notes away from the capo. This is actually a C sharp note. And then in the 6th fret, we're going to have the ring finger on the D string and the pinky finger on the G string. And it's that same power chord C sharp that I showed you in the other video. And since we didn't do anything to change these notes, we're actually playing the exact same chord. This is having no effect whatsoever on the guitar at this point because we are in front of that capo playing these true notes. So that's the same C sharp minor chord that we played. Now there is a note that you need to be able to play for this chord that can get a little bit tricky, and that is to play behind this capo to get an F sharp. Because there are times when you have an F sharp minor chord in the key of E, and so to get an F sharp, this is one time where it's difficult. You go behind the capo to get that F sharp, and then you need these 2 notes to get this chord. Since that's an open note, we have to figure out how to fret the F sharp, which F sharp minor is a chord you can run into every now and then in E. And then we talked about G sharp minor. We would do it the same way. We would do the stack in this 4th fret with our middle finger, ring finger, and pinky on the E, D, and G. So we can still do that stack. So a song might run like this, from E, then an F sharp minor, then an A, B. You can see how it creates this really nice open sound, and you can hit that C sharp anytime you need to, and these fingers can run back and forth between the C sharp and the B. Just create a really nice open sound when you're playing an E, just to give you another option of how to do that. Another great thing about this way of playing an E is that a lot of the chords I showed you up the neck will still work. The B will still work, the C sharp minor will still work, the E will still work. You can still do the thing where you rock the note within the chord. The only thing that won't work is the A, because the A string is actually turned into a B right here by this capo. So if we tried to do that, we actually get a B chord. It's the same as this one. You see how they sound exactly the same. So we're still going to need to play our A down here. But it's such a great sounding chord, it doesn't matter that much. And it's not tough to get to. So if you want to mix in these chords in this kind of scenario, you still could. I hope you'll learn to love playing an E. It's actually one of my favorite keys to play in now, once I got some of these tricks figured out of how to make the chords sound so open and so pretty. So good luck, and we'll see you in the next video.